Folks, what a damn game that was. The Bills stun the road team, the Baltimore Ravens, down 15 points in the fourth quarter of the game by the final score of Bills 41 and Baltimore Ravens 40 in what is an instant all-time classic game that at least I've seen on Sunday Night Football. Just unbelievable scenes. And unbelievable is not even the apt or correct term to describe this game, because I was considering turning the damn game off when the Ravens took a 40-25 lead in the game. I was like, okay, this shit's over. The Ravens got it down packed. They're going to win the football game. And that is what it is, and maybe I'll make a video about how bad Buffalo's defense is. But then the tide starts to turn and change as quickly as humanly possible in the fourth quarter of this game. Derrick Henry fumbles at the worst. I mean, he was having an unbelievable game. He was having a game of legends. One of the best games a running back's had in a long time in this league. And he fumbles the game. No, he doesn't really. He didn't really fumble the game, but so you get what I'm trying to say. He fumbled the biggest drive they'd had up to that point in the fourth quarter. He fumbled the football away and gave Bills new life in the game and a new purpose to go out and win the game. The Bills were absolutely atrocious on defense. I'm not going to give them any credit whatsoever. That was a lucky fumble. That had nothing to do with the defense being skilled in any way, shape, or form. That was complete luck. Henry lost the football, and that's that. They scooped it up, and that's that. That really is where it is. No credit goes to the Bills defense, and no credit goes to the Ravens defense. Their lack of any sort of pass rush whatsoever killed them in the fourth quarter of this game. Jair Alexander, you suck. Jair Alexander, I would cut him. His back was turned to the play. He couldn't even see the ball, and he got cooked on a route to the sideline. Cut that motherfucker right now. Do whatever it takes to get the dude off your team, because he's not it. There's no way he should be starting at cornerback for your team anymore. Get him off the field. Get him out the team. Cut him from your team. And just be done with it. One game in the Jair Alexander experiment is done and cooked. I mean, that right there has sealed his fate. I would cut him. There's no point. This is a big game in the first week of the season, a true test against one of the game's elite teams, and a fuck-up like that should not be tolerated at all. So get the fucking guy off the team. He's a fucking scrub. Man, but what a game this was. Both these quarterbacks were absolutely dueling the whole game. Josh Allen showing the mental resolve, never giving up, never wavering, never surrendering, never quitting in the fourth quarter of this game, throwing absolute strikes all over to every level and portion of the field, especially in the fourth quarter, throwing dimes all over the place, throwing touchdown passes. They had very poor luck, bad luck on the two-point conversions, and just were not good with the two-point conversions, but when it mattered the most, they stepped up to the occasion and they loaded the bases and hit the ultimate fucking grand slam. Matt Prater hit the 30-something yard field goal as time expired to win the game for the Buffalo Bills 41-40. There's so much to take away from this game that it astounds me. I could be talking about either team's shit defensive performance, right? Like, because these defenses did not come to play. You might as well have left the defense in the team bus, right? Leave it in the team bus. That's where it stays, because that's where they might as well have been. There's no point of them taking the field if they're going to give up 40 points, right? The offense was very high-powered for both of these teams. A lot of the games today were sort of in the medium to low scoring, so this was definitely a change of pace. Obviously, the Jets-Steelers game was really fucking good, but that game doesn't hold a fucking candle to the epic proportions that this game truly was. This was a game of biblical proportions. The fourth quarter was stuff of legends from the Buffalo Bills. You could not script a comeback better than that. I mean, if that was something that would have happened in a cheesy Disney movie in 1998, you'd be, oh, that's fucking fake as shit. That's bullshit. It happened in a real game. 15 points down, the Bills do not quit, and they come back and win the game. Lamar Jackson played amazing. Derrick Henry, other than the untimely fumble that may have cost his team the game, was amazing. Their rushing attack looked unbelievable, and if they continue that, they're going to be a threat to win the Super Bowl this year. But their defense, man, it was stunning. Their pass rush was atrocious. They let Allen get out the pocket way too much. And when you let Allen get out the pocket, that's where he's comfortable. Outside the damn pocket is where Allen is the most comfortable. He's a comfortable quarterback in the pocket, but he can really create chaos out of structure. When he's running, that's where he's the most deadly as a quarterback. And it sort of astounds me, I guess is the correct term. It astounds me that they did not make any sort of defensive adjustment. Whoever the defensive coordinator is for the Ravens is a moron. All right, because there was no adjustments made in that second half, in that fourth quarter. I know, they didn't have a lot of points at a certain part of the game, but still, you have to play hard. You can't just start playing prevent because you're up 15. You have to play hard on defense the full goddamn game, and they didn't do that. You could tell they sort of gave up and quit, and then Josh Allen dissected them, and they had to go into oh shit serious mode, and they weren't ready to go into oh shit serious mode, and Allen diced them up, and they got a game-winning field goal, and they won the game 41-40. And it's unacceptable. It's just it's a lapse of judgment. You can't be playing soft-ass coverage just because you're up by multiple possessions. That doesn't mean you do that, but they did it. But they fucking did it. And the Bills' defense will not be spared. Their defense was worse. In my opinion, their defense was way fucking worse. Lamar Jackson, the play, he ran backwards 35 yards, and he somehow got like 20-something yards out of it. He ran backwards 30 yards in the pocket. He did a fucking Kyler Midget Murray and a Caleb Williams, where he just ran around in an endless fucking loop backwards, and he somehow got positive yards out of that play. Joey Bosa is so washed up. Joey Bosa is horrible. I mean, he looked so bad in this game. Once again, they had no pass rush either. I mean, it was like the battle of teams who don't have a pass rush and teams that don't have a secondary. And I mean, the linebackers, for the Buffalo Bills in this game, they could not get to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was running all over the field. Lamar Jackson was running all over the field. The Baltimore Ravens were just running all over the field. And what a comeback that this was. But there's a lot to take away for both teams, and a lot of it isn't really good, but a lot of it is good. Obviously, the clutch comeback for the Bills. Josh Allen showing he does have what it takes to come back from being down by that much. And it's just unreal stuff. This is a game I'm going to remember for a very, very long time. And that's one of the reasons I'm making a video on it, is because I'm going to remember this game for probably as long as I live. Because this is a game where you just, you think of turning it off early because the game's over, right? And then you see, the team that's down by a lot, okay, they score, and then they score again, and you're like, oh fuck, and they score again, like, holy fuck, they just won the game. It really came out of nowhere. Like, it was like a flash knockout. It really was. It was like a flash KO. Like, you just don't see it coming. And I didn't see the Bills coming back in this game in the fourth quarter when they were down by 15 points, but by God, they found a way to do it. Josh Allen found a way to do it, and the play calling for the Bills on offense was atrocious for a lot of the game. They were just throwing little screens and dinky throws. You have Josh Allen, and you're just throwing the same 2 fucking yard throws over and over again. But, obviously the offense had to open up because they were down by so much, and that's where they were at their best. So maybe if they can call every game like it's their last, and call every game like you're down by 15 in the fourth quarter with 10 minutes to go, then they'll be the best team in the league, and they may have a chance at winning a Super Bowl this year. And once again, as for the Ravens, there's no problems with their offense. It's their defense that they really seriously need to worry about. This defense looked atrocious, and defense looked bad. I mean, I think Buffalo's looked way worse, but the Ravens did not look good by any stretch of the imagination. So there's a lot to be concerned about for both teams on defense, but offensively, these two teams are going to bring the firepower. And this was just an absolutely unbelievable game, folks. This is, once again, a game I will remember for a long, long time. And I'm not going to roast either team. I kind of have in this, but there was obvious faults and problems and bad things in the game that both teams did. And both teams were really lackadaisical and horrific on defense. But I can't even slander the Ravens for choking that. I can. Honestly, I can. You shouldn't be choking that lead away. That's not something that you should do, but the Bills they wanted it. It's corny to say they wanted it more, but you could tell they wanted to somehow snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, and obviously they were able to accomplish that. I'm not going to try to really roast the Baltimore Ravens too bad, because they don't even deserve it. They scored 40 points. Like, you should be winning a game with 40 points. You would beat any other team in the league with 40 points. With your defense, even with your defense playing like that, you would have beaten every other team except for the Bills on this day. They would have beaten any other team, even the Chiefs. I think they would have beat the Chiefs, scoring 40 points, and even, with how bad they played on defense. A lot of people are going to be expecting me to go off on the Ravens. There's no point, right? Because the game was so good, you have to appreciate how fucking both teams played, right? I will say this, I'm not a very big fan of very high-scoring games, like games that are in the 40s and 50s. I think, okay, well, there's no defense whatsoever, but there was things in this game defensively that I liked for both teams, but mostly I didn't. So that's why I wasn't like, okay, well, this game sucked. the game was entertaining as fuck, and it had a miraculous comeback, so what else could you really ask for, right? If you're not entertained by that, you just don't like football. You need to stop watching football. If there are people, there's going to be people that are going to say, oh, well, the defenses in this game suck, the game was boring. You need to stop watching football because you don't enjoy the sport. This was an amazing game. Other than the defense is really struggling, it was still an entertaining and exciting game to watch. And even when it was like down 15 points, I was contemplating shutting the game off. I didn't, because I had some feeling that, okay, there's a chance maybe if they can get a stop and score, and get another stop, they would have a chance at maybe tying at this football game. Maybe they go into OT. But man, this game was crazy as shit, and I'm glad I watched till the very last snap of the game, because this was an exciting, enthralling game I will remember for a very long time. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.